All right, everyone, welcome back for another deep dive.
Yeah, happy to be here.
So today we're going to be diving deep into the mechanics of breathing.
Breathing, yeah.
We've got some fascinating research here,
Absolutely.
all about how breathing works and really focusing on the impact of shallow breathing
Right.
on how much oxygen we're actually taking in.
Yeah, most people don't think about their breathing much.
No.
But it's such an essential function, and it really does impact our health and well-being in a lot of ways.
It does.
Mm.
And one of the things that I thought was just so fascinating and honestly kind of unsettling in this research was that even if you're breathing at a normal pace,
Right.
you're taking, the 12 to 15 breaths a minute or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But if those breaths are shallow,
Yeah.
you're really not getting nearly as much air as you think you are.
Right. And it really all comes down to something called tidal volume.
Okay.
So think of your lungs like balloons.
Yep.
And every time you breathe in, you're filling those balloons a little bit. Okay. So tidal volume is basically just the amount of air that goes in and out with each breath.
Okay.
So shallow breathing means you're only filling up those balloons a tiny little bit.
Yeah, it's like when you have one of those little birthday party pumps.
Exactly.
Or you're trying to fill up a bouncy house.
Right. You're never going to get there.
You're going to be there all day.
Exactly. And that's really the key takeaway here.
Okay.
Even if your breathing rate's normal, if your tidal volume is low, you're not getting enough air.
Right. So then how does that work, though? I mean, because we are still breathing.
You are still breathing, but there's this other important factor called minute volume.
Okay.
And minute volume is basically the total volume of air you breathe in and out in a minute.
Okay.
So you calculate that by multiplying your breathing rate by your tidal volume.
Okay.
So let's say you take 12 breaths per minute, and with each breath, you're bringing in 500 milliliters of air.
Okay.
That gives you a minute volume of 6 liters. But if you're doing shallow breathing, even at that same rate, if you're only taking in 300 milliliters per breath, then your minute volume goes all the way down to 3.6 liters.
Wow. So you're getting less than half?
Exactly.
Even though you're breathing at the same rate?
Exactly.
Wow. I had no idea.
And that's where things can get a little bit dangerous.
Okay.
Because when your body is not getting enough oxygen,
Yeah.
it can lead to something called hypoxia.
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 Yeah.
What happens when we're hypoxic?
Well, in mild cases, you might feel some fatigue, some dizziness, headaches, rapid heart rate.
Okay.
But in more severe cases, it can actually impair your cognitive function.
Wow.
You could have confusion, even damage to vital organs.
And that can happen just because of shallow breathing.
And what's interesting is that a lot of people actually experience mild hypoxia without realizing it.
Right, if you hold your breath too long.
Yeah, exactly. Or if you're in a really stuffy room.
So, it's not just about those acute situations, but really you can have chronic shallow breathing that kind of contributes to this over time.
Got it.
And so if you're constantly taking these shallow breaths, your body might not be getting the oxygen that it needs to really function at its best.
Now, the research also mentioned some other things like increasing the amount of air that you inhale after a normal breath, or just boosting your overall tidal volume.
Right.
But those aren't really what we're talking about here.
No, those are more about maximizing lung capacity. They're not really addressing this problem of shallow breathing.
Okay.
And there's also something called expiratory reserve volume.
Okay.
Which is the amount of air that you can forcefully exhale after a normal exhale.
Okay.
But that's not really relevant to what we're talking about here.
Got it. So it really is just those shallow breaths.
Yeah.
Even if you're taking them at a normal pace.
Right.
Are really cheating your body.
Exactly.
Of the oxygen it needs.
Yeah. It's like trying to drink a whole glass of water through one of those tiny little coffee stir straws.
Yeah. It's going to take forever.
Exactly. You're much better off just, taking a nice big gulp from a glass.
So really, I guess the question for everyone listening is,
yeah,
how much are you paying attention to the depth of your breaths?
Right. Are you unknowingly limiting your oxygen intake every day? Because taking those full deep breaths can make a huge difference.
In how you feel.
In your energy levels, your mental clarity, your overall health.
Absolutely.
It's really powerful.
Well, thank you so much for this deep dive. I learned a lot today.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
I think everyone listening probably did too.
I hope so.
And we'll see you next time.
See ya.
For another deep dive.
Bye.
Bye.